right now. Don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Alliance live show number 92. As we step closer and closer to episode 100 of the show, I'm excited today because there's a lot to talk about. We've got a new character coming to the game, a much awaited character, a much wanted character finally making his arrival to SWGOH, and we have the usual folks here to kind of discuss our thoughts on the new character, the means that he'll be coming into the game, and whether or not it's worth it to make the plunge to go after Darth Malak. So, first and foremost, good old Maurice, my buddy. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Good, good. And also, Avinash. How you doing today, Abby?
I'm doing fantastic, thanks.
Good, good. So, we've got a lot to discuss, so I want to dive right in here. First and foremost, let's take a look at where I'm at as far as these characters are concerned. I've got them all favorited so we can just see. Now, apparently, what we're going to need to get Darth Malak is going to be both Jedi Knight Revan and Darth Revan, and then 4 of the 5 characters that you needed to get Darth Revan or Jedi Knight Revan. So, I guess you'll be able to choose that one character that you didn't really gear all the way up to kind of leave to the side. So this is where I'm at now. I chose to go with Juhani instead of Canderous Ordo for the moment because Juhani I have geared up a little bit higher. I can get her to gear 12 really easily, and everybody else I have at gear 12. So T3 is still, I think, gear 9 for me, so I'm going to stay away from him, I think. Now, I want to discuss also here in a few moments whether we think that some of these characters are going to be necessary. Like, let's say, for example, we don't need Juhani, we're going to need Canderous Ordo. But what are your guys' thoughts about Malak coming to the game? I mean, this is kind of a shocker, right? I mean, we were wondering if this was going to be a possibility, how they were going to do it. Were they going to give us another legendary event? And they've given us something completely new. We've never had anything like this before. Sort of like a weekend event where for the people that were able to get the 2 Revans, now you get an opportunity to get Malak to complete the Sith piece and actually have a full Sith Old Republic squad in Arena.
I knew it was going to be sooner than later. I knew it was going to happen. I knew that they were going to have to figure out something to put in the Dark Revan team because we're missing sort of like 2 characters that we need. We've got your Darth Revan, you've got your HK-47 and Dark Bastila, but we've got 2 tunes that are desperately needed to be able to fill out that team to be able to go up against, say, Jedi Knight Revan or to be a more viable team in the meta. And everybody speculated, of course, Darth Malak. But I'm thinking, well, when do you think he's going to be? It's going to be a while because we just went through a bunch of stuff and I knew it was going to come out sooner than later. Although I didn't think it was going to come out quite this soon.
This is soon.
I was thinking maybe, this is soon. I was thinking more towards the end of the month, maybe the first part of May, maybe around May 4th is what I was thinking. Maybe that's when they would probably release it. But after the heavy cash of putting out for Darth Revan and stuff, this is I'm not liking the way that they're putting this out. So
What do you
I'll
think?
let Maurice talk. Go ahead. Otherwise, I'm just going to ramble all night.
It's definitely quick. I guess much like the community, the developers are just sick of KOTOR, so they just want to get it over with. Let's just go ahead and get it done. 4 days. No notice. The good news about no notice is if you guys aren't close, it's an easy decision, right? Like you just like, well, I'm not getting this character. There's no like panicking to the last second. It's either you're ready or you're not. You know, there's very, very few people that are going to be ready for this event. This is no announcement whatsoever.
I mean, it's a little embarrassing. You know, we're game changers, and we had no idea about this until this afternoon, and we found out just like everybody else.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's. I mean, that's the way it is. You know, we don't really get the advance notice and stuff that we did. You know, I'm a newer member of this program, so you know we don't get anything. You know, you guys used to get even towards the end. You know, we got some advanced footage. At least they shot it for us, so we'd get like a day or two notice, like your guys,
Right.
You know, or something. Something we would be ready for an event like this, but nobody was ready for this. It's here. It's happening. You know, I mean, I think the full kit is revealed now. Yeah, they've released both halves of it.
Have they released the kit?
No, but they
Not the
put,
kit.
like,
Yeah, they talked about what we need for both halves of it. So
Basically, this is what it reads. So, we wanted to start by congratulating our esteemed puzzle solvers on the first half of the clue, which resulted in the below image. So that revealed the image of Darth Malak. While they're still working on the second half of the puzzle, which will reveal more about Darth Malak, we want to share with you the requirements for the event. So whether they solve it or not, but we're guessing they will inside the next couple of hours, the Starforge Showdown begins Friday on the 12th, which is tomorrow. Well, yeah, as of now, it's tomorrow for me. With 2 phases, which can be completed in whatever order you choose. This is completely new type of event and will be more complicated and difficult than any event we've run before. In the first battle, you'll face Darth Malak using Jedi Knight Revan and any of the 4 characters needed to unlock Jedi Knight Revan: Bastila Shan, Jolee Bindo, T3M4, Mission, or Zalbar. The second battle will require Darth Revan with any of the 4 characters that unlock Darth Revan: Canderous Ordo, Cartho Nassi, Juhani, HK-47, and Bastila Shan Fallen. Darth Malak shards will appear in the Guild event store when you unlock Darth Malak at 5 stars. To reiterate, this will be an extremely difficult battle, and for the first time in any event, you will need each of your characters to be at least 17,500 power to enter. You'll also have a limited time to complete this achievement and earn Darth Malak. This will start Friday 4/12 at 12:01 UTC and run through Sunday 4/14 at 11:59 p.m. UTC. First of all, what's UTC?
UTC Universal Conversion time.
What's that for me at 12:01? Is that Pacific? That's not Pacific, right? So
that's it's 4 hours ahead of you.
Yeah. Yeah, UTC is the one that does not recognize daylight saving time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a constant. So
GMT is the one that recognizes the savings time. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means it'll be 8 o'clock PM for me.
4 hours difference for you. Yeah, UTC is 4 hours ahead of you.
Wow. So let's get ready for an adventure. I'm definitely going to stream this, guys. So, hopefully I get it done. If I don't get it done, we'll be streaming the last half of it on... Actually, no, we won't be able to, because it'll be over by then. But
prepare to have like little buzzers that bleep out all the cuss words that he might be using at the time.
Well, the hard part is getting there. All of your participating characters have to be Gear 12.
Yeah. Well,
unless you could probably get by with Gear 11 plus some pieces and a Zeta.
There's a lot of the characters are easily 17,500. It's kind of like the weakest 2 tunes. Like Juhani is example of one that is difficult and is going to have to be Gear 12. plus some pieces, or gear 12 and a Zeta, or gear 11 and a Zeta, or some 12.5 pieces. So, but some of the other ones are really easy to get to 17,500. It's just those, I think, 4 tunes that are difficult to do.
So you won't actually be able to get into the event if the character's not 17,500 power.
Correct.
Okay.
That, 17,500 is what you have to qualify for the event.
So my Juhani's at 16,800 power, so I would need to get her up another 600 to even do the event.
Right, and that could mean just taking her to gear 12, but that could also mean maybe, I mean, this is an extreme, like to put a Zeta on her, which will give you a couple thousand more, or what you want to do is once you get her to gear 12 and she doesn't make it, then you need to put some 6E mods on her to be able to crank that up a bit.
Yeah. I would not invest. Like, if you guys have the characters, like Ramon here he's one character away that he's either going to increase the gear or increase the Zeta. Before you just start slapping Zetas on, maybe give the event a day and see just how difficult it is. I think if you have the qualifying characters, you should be fine. But, if you get in there and you need a very particular team comp, a very particular set of Zetas, God mods, whatever the case may be, you don't want to put a Zeta like on a character like Zalbar to get him their mission, Juani, if you're not going to be able to beat it anyway. So, I mean, that's being super, super cautious, but, it's going to be tough. I mean, it's going to be tough to tell what to do. I mean, I would hate to get, like, a Gear 12 character I don't have, like taking the Gear 12, Zeta them, and then find out that I don't have the right Zetas, or I don't have the right, I don't have something.
I'll tell you, during the gearing process for Mission Vow and Zalbar after the event was over, because I had them at Gear 11, I got Jedi Revan, I was like questioning whether I should keep doing it or do something else for the guild, right? And I'm like sitting there thinking like, maybe I should put this gear into some other character. And I ended up finishing up Mission Vow, giving her a Zeta, and getting Zalbar to Gear 12. So I'm so glad that I did that now. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't know. Do you guys think that if you're, let's say, I mean, obviously I'm pretty well ahead of the curve, so I'll probably be able to get this done. But for somebody who's, let's say, a little bit further behind, I mean, because everybody's going to be at different stages of this. Some people got the events done with Gear 10, Gear 11 characters. If let's say you're going to have to spend, let's say it's $100 to get all the gear out of the shop to get Malak, but you already have Revan because now this completes your team. Do you think it's worth it, or do you think it's going to be a situation where, this event's not going to come around for a few months, and you're going to fall behind? That's really hard to say. It's because we pretty much know nothing. I don't know. I know that at least a couple of there's just no way I'm going to be able to do it. I know one account I just looked, and so I've got them all G12, and most of them have 6E mods, so one of them can get it. The rest of them, I don't think so, and I'm not willing to put the effort into to boost them up that much to be able to do it. What it does is it takes away the creativity in going into these events to see how low a gear or low a mods or low a speed or however you want to be creative to be able to test the event to find out how good you can be by doing the absolute minimum. And in this case, they're making you go, oh no, we're not going to do that anymore. You have to do this. So those people that have gone in at G9, G10, or even G11 in some of these events are either going to completely miss this, or they're going to be scrambling to try to get the gear to get them up there to be able to get Darth Malak. And I think that's just really sucks. It's scary. I mean, my thought process is, if you've already made an investment this far, and this is what we talked about before, right? Like if they just dropped Malak as a marquee character next week, and now you don't have a full Sith team without Malak. What do you do? Obviously, this is not that, so it's not going to be quite as expensive. It's going to be still, I think, for some people, an investment, though. And some people have the crystals already prepared, or they have the gear already prepared to get this done. But for those of you that don't, that are sitting there like on the cusp thinking what you should do, you have to also weigh in the options for the next couple of months in Arena. Okay? And that's that without Darth Malak, we don't have the kit yet, so we don't know. Okay, but I doubt very much that he's going to suck. I think that he's going to make that team probably ridiculous. I mean, we've all been saying this team's missing something, this team's missing something, this team's missing something, and this is it. So it's coming now, and it's what we were all like speculating but wondering how it was going to happen. It's happening, and now if you don't have that extra piece, you're going to fall behind in PvP, you're going to fall behind in territory wars, and you're going to fall behind in Grand Arena, because if you're facing somebody that does have that team, you're going to lose every time. And that's just my thought process behind it. But so, you're almost in a position now where you kind of have to go for this character if you have Darth Revan. You know, so it's or at least you feel like you have to. Like you're kind of put in a position where you feel like you have no choice but to do what you have to do to get this done. And there's literally no time to even think about it. So even looking at what's going on over the next couple days, this is not like a 7-day event where you can see what happens in the event, how difficult it is, and then start to farm the gear, because you'll be literally refreshing the store a ridiculous amount of times just to get to buy the pieces that you need. So, I mean, you have 2 days now to kind of get prepped. So, you have to look at it like that. I mean, again, this is a situation where you're going to have to make... I think you kind of have to make a decision now whether this is something you're going to do or not. Okay? And if you're going to do it, then you have to go all in on it. And that means you don't want to spend $50 and then find out that you're just a little bit short, because then... you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you have these characters prepped. You're going to need them to be at a certain power level regardless. And I think once you get them over that threshold, it'll probably be good enough to get the event done. What happens if people have the characters over 17.5 and they can't win because it's too hard? Because bear in mind, there's not a lot of synergy with Jedi Knight Revan and those other characters, and Darth Revan and those other characters. Right? Besides Bastila Fallen and HK... there's the synergy between Carth Onasi and Juhani with Darth Revan is like literally it doesn't exist. I mean, so same thing with Jedi Knight Revan. More so with Darth Revan than him, because it is what it is. But with Jedi Knight Revan, there's not really a huge synergy with Zalbar Mission either. So. What if this event is really hard, and the fact that there isn't that, the fact that we don't have those other Jedi on the team with Jedi Knight Revan kind of makes it harder to win that battle, because again, Mission Vow and Zalbar aren't going to necessarily be getting all the bonuses that you would if it was Grandmaster Yoda and General Kenobi.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, and. Because it's 2 days, so that's really going to limit you if you're having a really hard time with either the gear that you have or the character synergy in going to the battles, or the RNG itself. Who knows how RNG heavy this is going to be. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Like I said, I know I can get it on one account. The others, I just might have to sit on, because it's only 2 days. And if it's really, really super hard, it's almost impossible. I can't say almost impossible, but it's going to be extremely difficult for me to get them on all of my accounts if it's only a 2-day period.
So DSP, first of all, thank you for the donation earlier. I do have my Zalbar at 17,480 power, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think I can just probably change around some mods and get him over 17,500. That's not going to be an issue. Really, the work is going to have to go into Juhani, who's about 600 behind. So I'll probably have to get her to gear 12. And I'm going to avoid putting the Zeta on because I'll probably, by the time the event is over, have enough for 2 Zetas. And I really want to save those for Malak himself. So, because I'm pretty sure he'll have at least 2. So, that's kind of where I'm at with that.
We know he has 1, right? Maybe these posts are just completely made up, but there's a couple posts of like a forum post with his kits with like certain abilities like shaded out. Have you guys not seen these pictures?
I've seen it.
Those are not real. I don't think. Those are just people posting
Fake
pictures. Yeah.
But I mean, like Ramon said, I had no idea this was coming. You know, I was working today, came home, I didn't even realize that this was out just like minutes before the RSG stream. You know, I had no idea. Well, I mean, Darth Malak was officially announced, so I mean, it's this is all I don't. Yeah, it's all new to me. So this one of the black smudges is indeed fake. Yes, these are fakes.
I would say so. I mean, I'm looking in the character strategy area right now just to see if they did drop a kit, and I don't see anything like that. Yeah, the only post that I see from them is the showdown at the Starforge, which was that post we talked about earlier, and then there's going to be some changes to Bastila Shan apparently that they posted a little bit earlier too. So her unique, or in this next release, Bastila Shan has been given a new unique ability, Force Bond, in order to better represent the connection between Jedi Knight Revan and Bastila Shan. Final text: if Jedi Knight Revan is the leader slot, Bastila Shan and Jedi Knight Revan have plus 70% accuracy, potency, and tenacity. Jedi Knight Revan also recovers protection from legendary battle meditation. If Darth Revan is on the enemy squad, Bastila gains advantage and retribution for 1 turn at the start of Darth Revan's turns. Okay, so this is kind of interesting because is that an attempt to make the Jedi Knight Revan team be a little bit more competitive? So, like, it's just going to be Jedi Knight Revan versus Darth Revan all over the... So it's going to be kind of like a 50-50 situation? Because
I think so.
Why would they buff Bastila now? Right?
Yeah, exactly. I think because they were hoping that... Who knows? I mean, my speculation, they want JKR to be, you know, so overbearing and stuff. And the fact that people have kind of come up with some interesting combinations and stuff to beat JKR so much easier, I think, than what was anticipated. You know, I think they're, quote, attempting to balance things out. JKR is still huge. I mean, for people that don't have Darth Revan or some of the other stuff, JKR is like the meta on that. And to be able to put another buff,
I don't think they need a buff.
Another one of the characters, they don't need anything more. They really don't.
He's going to get an increased 70% accuracy, potency, and tenacity. And then Bastila gains advantage and retribution for 1 turn at the start of Darth Revan's turns. And he's also going to recover protection from legendary battle meditation. So every time you send Yoda out there with legendary battle meditation, he's going to buff protection. That's kind of nuts.
It would have been nicer if it was something that would work well as if she's on a separate team, for example, to be able to split the team up, like for TW or something, but not super buff Jedi Knight Revan. I mean, come on, you know, it's already OP anyway. That's all we need is, so then that's going to look kind of, oh, wow, that's really OP. So we're going to buff something on the Darth Revan team to make up for it, to balance that out. Whoops, we screwed up there. So now we've got to do something else on the light side. So where does it end?
Yeah, but the changes to the light side Bastila really don't affect, apart from the protection. That is insane. That was unnecessary. But 70% accuracy, there's no evasion on the Darth Meta team or Darth Revan team, and potency. I mean, it doesn't matter. The more debuffs you put on Darth Revan, you can't ability block them, you can't stun them. If you do happen to have some, you know, debuffs that apply to Darth Revan, it's just going to speed them up. And tenacity is okay, I guess, until HK-47 lands, AoE tenacity down. This is going to make them incredibly difficult in Grand Arena and Territory Wars now. This is silly.
Yeah, where is it going to end? It's just like, oh, why not expand on other factions that we have that are just collecting dust down at the bottom of the pile instead of taking your two top teams and pitting them against each other.
That Jedi Knight Revan and Bastila kit is already ridiculous. It's already a wall of text. Now there's now it's an encyclopedia, okay, and it's a lot, and I mean, you're now making them even better against teams like Palpatine. That increased tenacity. I mean, why did it even have to? I mean, Revan's tenacity is already through the roof. I don't know. I just feel like it's a lot. And maybe it's not a huge game changer because Jedi Knight Revan teams are already really good. It's not like it's gonna make them from like horrible to great or anything like that. But it's just, I mean, I don't know why they need a buff. But yeah, I mean, to answer your question, DSP, you asked if
hold on, I wrote it down. I grabbed his last question. Yeah, I was going to answer it, but then you guys were discussing things. Hold on, I lost it. Just kidding. Carry on.
That's okay.
I lost everything.
It's okay. So you said, when can we use the Revans in the event? Yes, you can. That's what I was going to say.
Yes.
Yes, but Loki's in the chat here, but they were talking about RSG. There's a chance that these Revans could be the NPCs. I believe it was Loki that was talking about it. The way it's worded, there could be a chance that the Revans are given to us.
Right.
Oh God.
Right. I hope not.
That means they're going to be wimpy.
Yeah, but because if you have both the Revans, the chances that they're over 17.5 is pretty high. Those characters, they have 5 abilities. 3 Zetas apiece, very, very easy to get to 17,500. So, I mean, I'm not, they had a lot of good discussion on their show tonight about, what this event and stuff. So, that was one of the points I kind of drew out of it. That's the possibility. We'll know more Friday, 20, 30-ish, 32-ish hours from now, I think.
Sir Loki,
probably way off, but
Sir Loki makes an appearance in the chat. What's going on, brother?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just, I'm at kind of a loss for words here. Listen, I'm excited that I'm ready for it, I'm excited that I'm at least close to ready for it. But, this is just kind of shocking, and it's not even like we're getting a 7-star character here. We're going to get a 5-star character. Now, I'm sure he'll be good enough at 5 stars. Like, we won't be able to get him to Gear 12, but you'll be able to get him to Gear 11. Can you equip Zetas when they're not Gear 12?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right, you can, right? Because, I forget. I have one on Nest, and he's not... Okay. So, you just can't get him to Gear 12. But, I mean, so he'll be probably decent at 5 stars, but they're going to go into the Guild Event Store. So Darth Malak's going to be available in the Guild Event Store after this for farming after you unlock him. What are the odds that the cost for Darth Malak shards are the same as they are for Hermit Yoda and Wampa? Do you think that there's a chance that maybe they up the ante for Darth Malak and make it cost, let's say, 2,500 Guild event currency for 5 Malak shards? I kind of think that's a possibility. I
think that they will probably, now that you mentioned that, I think that's a distinct possibility that they're going to up the ante for that.
I think so. I mean, why in the world would Darth Malak shards cost the same as Hermit Yoda and Wampa shards at this point, right? Or they should lower the cost of Wampa and Hermit Yoda shards.
Yeah, because if we got them at 5 stars and the rest of them you have to get in the shop, I think to go from 5 to 7 is around 49,000. I think something like that, between 49 and 50,000 to get him.
Yeah.
If that's the case. So that's a lot less than I think that they want. So it's very possible that they could double that. Who knows?
I have about 10,000 right now. How ready are you guys for the event? Like, where are you guys each at right now?
Pure luck, I am 100% qualified. I don't need to do anything.
Wow. Okay.
I have 4 characters. I do not have Giovanni. I do not have T3, but I've got all the rest of them. I mean, I've been working on the Karth team. Even when I had Karth and these other, like all the characters a 3-star, just I knew I wanted that team. It hasn't quite met the expectations I had for it initially, but I'm glad. I mean, it's a good team. I'm glad I have it for Grand Arena. So it's pure luck, man. Pure luck. Just, you know.
I'm just wondering what kind of sick kit he's gonna have. Like, I'm wondering, like, what kind, like, because I felt like when I read the Revan kit, like, it was greater on paper than what I saw when I actually went into arena with the character.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I feel like there's some things that are missing from that team. We all discussed this. Everybody felt this way. Like, there was Malak needed to come into the game, and he's going to boost this team up. Now that he is coming, I mean, do you think he's going to add some sort of unique ability that makes it absolutely ridiculous for any other team? Or do you think that this is going to still be kind of like a balanced meta where you can run other teams? Because right now, when we get to the meta report in a little bit, you're going to see the disparity of the changes since Darth Revan has come in, and it's actually quite significant.
Well, the chat says that this thing that I posted is indeed legit. It was part of the puzzle, and part of the things that are, you know, kind of unblurred, if you will, on this post is that he taunts. And then it's got, like, you know, partial sentences. Darth Malak takes reduced damage from percent health damage effects, i.e. expose. Very similar probably to the Kylos, which...
Where is it? Where is this post?
I put it in our... I posted it in our...
Wait. CG Top Hat posted... Okay. In addition to the above new ability, Basilichon's unique... Okay, hold on a second.
I posted in our little live where we were doing the voice chat. I posted the picture in that message. And I posted in the chat, too, and they did say that this was legitimate. Okay. Deal damage to target enemy equal to 100% of their max health.
Wow, this is sick. Okay, so deal damage to target enemy equal to 100% of their max health and gain a stack of... What's that? What's the new ability that Revan brought into the game?
Ferocity. But yeah, this says a stack of D.
Oh, it's right here. Dark Infusion. It explains it underneath. Okay. A stack of Dark Infusion until the end of battle, which can't be dispelled or prevented. Then recover health equal to the damage dealt. This ability can't be evaded and starts on cooldown. Dark Infusion, plus 35% offense per stack, max 3 stacks. At max stacks, these bonuses are doubled, and basic attacks also inflict healing immunity for 2 turns.
Oh.
So Malak taunts, and Malak takes reduced damage for percent health damage effects. Wow. Malak gains 35% critical avoidance, health steal, tenacity, and defense. While he's going to have a sick kit.
Oh, he's going to be disgusting. He's going to be the best tank in the game. I mean, it's just that's the way it's going to go. You know, Scion was the best tank in the game for a while. Now it's, I guess,
he has an ability. He has an ability. If you read the upper right-hand corner, he has an ability that dispels all buffs on an opponent. So he's a dispeller also, and then he shocks them as well.
Why not? Just give him an extra shock. So just go ahead and give him an extra shock. That way, if Bastila does her shock, she can do AoE damage with it.
That's bananas. That's bananas. He's going to be ridiculous. So they added an extra portion here to the kit for Bastila. In addition to the above new ability, Basilichon's unique 1 legendary battle meditation has been updated to the following. At the start of Bastila's turn, all other allies gain 1% turn meter, doubled for Jedi, and legendary battle meditation for 1 turn. Legendary battle meditation plus 25% potency and 10% counter chance, doubled for Jedi, 1% turn meter gain, 10% potency, 10% counter chance, 15% potency, 15% counter chance, 1% turn meter. Oh, that's the bonuses. Okay, so a final text. At the start of the Bastil's turn, she recovers 2% protection for each buff she has, and all other allies gain 3% turn meter, doubled for Jedi, and legendary battle meditation for 1 turn. So I guess I don't know what they changed there, but they updated her battle meditation as well. So buffs for Bastila, Malak's coming. It's chaos. I don't know. I mean, I think that we're in a situation where, I mean, his kit is going to be nuts. I don't know. That's like, and that's really what he needed, right? I mean, we needed a tank, right? So I mean, like, we were
right.
like, Sith Trooper is not cutting it for Darth Revan teams. I mean, he's okay, but he's not cutting it. Okay,
because he's not built for that team.
Right.
He's not. Yeah.
So what's the team now? What's the ideal team? I mean, what's the Jedi Knight Revan, Bastila Shan, Jolee Bindo, Grandmaster Yoda, and General Kenobi of the new meta? Is it going to be Darth Revan lead with Bastila Shan Fallen, HK-47, Darth Malak, and who's the 5th? Sith Marauder?
Unnecessary.
Just go in with 4. Yeah. 4v5. Yeah.
Yeah, there's still that 4th. There's that slot that's still weak. And I think what I mentioned like a time or two ago is that there needs to be 2 characters. And I knew that one of them that they desperately needed was a tank, because they basically have no defense because their defense is taken away to be able to put more onto offense. So they desperately needed something to draw some of that energy from JKR, but there's still a weak point there, and there's not really anything to fill it at this point. Do you guys speculate maybe another character coming out?
No, this is already too much. I mean, listen, I don't want to say anything because I mean, I'm kind of surprised this is even happening. So I mean, anything's possible. Okay, we could get like Emperor Vitiate next week, which would be ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? But realistically, no, I think this is it, and I think this kind of makes sense. I mean, it's a new way to bring a character in the game. They've never done this before. This is unprecedented, okay? They're bringing a character in through a limited time 2-day event, and then having him be farmable once you unlock him from the Guild event store for the next couple of months. So nobody's going to have him. At least I can imagine almost nobody's going to have him at 7 stars day 1. You know what I'm saying? I mean, anybody who has him at 7 stars, I don't even think it's possible to refresh that store enough to have him 7 stars day 1. You'll have to do that over the course of a week or so, at least, I think.
Oh, I'm sure people are going to. I know people who have over 100,000 saved.
Right, they have 100,000 saved, but it's still going to cost crystals to do it faster. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, like, unless you'll be able to get them every day, okay, and you'll be able to get shards over the next few days, but it's still going to take crystals if you want to get it done faster. So some people are going to be going and refreshing that store the second they get them to 5 stars, 10 times. I don't even know what the max refresh is from the store, but I'm sure somebody will find out that day.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm expecting at least 1, if not 2 people in our guild to do it, and then we'll find out.
I know what the max refresh is for the regular store to get gear, like the PvE store. Do you know what it is?
No clue.
When I was a Mega Whale, okay, 3,600 crystals to refresh at the max.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
And then the game shuts off and tells you stop it. Once you buy
the game for 3 days.
once you use 3,600 crystals like 2 times or something like that to refresh that store to get gear, the button just turns like you can't press it anymore. It becomes hollow. Like it just becomes clear, and you can't refresh it anymore after that. So there is a limit to the amount of money that they want to take from you. Like once you get to the point where they think you're literally sick in the head, they stop you. You know,
Yeah,
they can keep it going. I mean, I can't believe they allow you to get that far. Like once you get to a certain threshold, like once you're at 1,000 crystals, refresh and the stuff, you should be allowed to. It should just stay there. Period. Right? I mean, like it should. 3,600 is crazy. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think I wanted a character to be gear 11 or whatever it was at that time so bad that like I was literally just refreshing. I had like 260,000 crystals at the time, so it wasn't like. I mean, it's still crazy, okay, but it wasn't like it wasn't that crazy, But anyway, yeah. So.
I'm curious to find out, though. If you do it close enough to your reset time, once your reset time comes around, you can just refresh that real quick, and I'm sure somebody will have it.
There's a new there's a new road ahead post right now live.
Oh God, no!
Breaking news live on the stream. Isn't this always fun? Let's see the road ahead. Okay, hot off the presses, and just before we kick off our booth at Star Wars Celebration, it's the road ahead. It's been just over a year since I started writing the road ahead more formally, and in a commemoration of this, I wanted to talk about some of the topics from that blog to reflect on changes we've made in the past year, additionally things we are going to be doing, and as always, the exciting things we have planned for the near future. Intro and communication updates is the following topic. 1 year ago, we committed to the format of the road ahead that was based on a few different criteria, including some requirements that inside of EA that as of this month have been changed. And we have also received feedback from you as well, which has allowed us to reflect on the structure in its entirety. While we will continue to strive to post the road ahead inside of the first few weeks of the quarter, we may for some time, you will likely also see changes to the format. The goal would be to tell you things more frequently instead of big chunks of news that then relative silence for weeks or months. As we work toward that cadence, we will continue to do big beats of information as needed, and we will also explore other types of communication. We know that information is valued, and we also know that somewhere right now someone is reading this message aloud on a podcast or a YouTube video and pouring over every single choice of word. Things like whether very difficult means the same thing as quite challenging. We try to think about those things and explain our intentionality. And we will continue to search for opportunities to clarify our perspective. Okay, so something in particular we've been exploring is showing you behind the development curtain and provide some insight into how we operate. And we've been thrilled to be able to partner with Lucasfilm to bring you some behind-the-scenes work on both Jedi Knight Revan and Darth Revan, as well as reveal developer insights on how we think about characters, and we are going to continue down this path, trying to provide as much of our perspective as possible when it comes to how and why we do or build things. We will also be doing another developer Q&A in our official forums inside the next month, so keep an eye out for that there. Character cadence update. Another topic that we know is near and dear to everyone is character cadence. At its core, Star Wars Galaxy Heroes is a game about collecting characters, and how and when they are released is always a topic of much conversation. However, as the game evolves, so must the way in which we release characters. You've already seen a couple Galactic Chase events for both the Ebon Hawk and Emperor Shuttle, and some of the changes on how we are merchandising marquees with Droideka. One of the core ways in which we release characters is marquee events, and while we will still be doing marquees, there are going to be a lot fewer marquees the first half of this year than there were in the same time period last year, and instead you're going to see more and more reworks visiting the holo table. The reason for this is pretty straightforward. There are a number of characters that by nature of a deep and ever-evolving game did not perform as well as they should. We're going to be tackling a number of these characters head-on. With all reworks, our aim is to make them undoubtedly perform better. However, in some cases, like in the case recently reworked HK-47, we changed his core identity as a droid leader by giving him a new role in the Sith Empire team, which, in giving him power and synergy with Master Darth Revan, resulted in us nerfing his leader ability. She even said nerfing. That's funny.
Wow.
Overall, we feel he is more interesting and balanced character than before, and the rework but he fits into a substantially different team and role. For that reason, we decided to refund investments in that leader ability, and every time we make a significant change, we will attempt to make that calculation. However, the time that the design, balance, QA, and other teams spend on these reworks is sometimes more significant than it would be to make a new character from scratch. Since many people already own these characters and have invested in teams to use them, it's critical we get the balance right and do our best to respect players' previous investments in any games we change, in any characters we change. I see this highlight that we try to think about all these things in the balance, marquees, and reworks with our eye towards different goals for the player base. For example, we just revealed a new kind of release that's a very, very significantly difficult and quite challenging, called Mythic Battles. It's not like other types of releases we've had until this point, but we think that theory crafting and shared strategies is going to be another level. You've been warned. Okay? And a quick note on character power. We're aware, as it is an age-old quandary in games like this, of issues of dominance of certain characters in the meta. There will always be some pretty dominant characters, but our hope is that the variety of competitive teams filter into the community over time and that the primary meta of the game becomes a little bit more balanced in the future. While it may not be true rock, paper, scissors meta, and while it may take some time to execute, this is the targeted end state. This end state is a reflection of some of the competitive gameplay changes we've slowly been making as well, and now the road ahead. Okay, so the road ahead starts now. Okay, when we originally planned the last year of content, we found a chunk of time for us to explore content the studio is very passionate about in the Star Wars universe, the Knights of the Old Republic. Between the two important moments from the franchise Solo and Episode 9, and while there are more characters we want to bring from the Old Republic era, I'm the reason you see Chem Val on every consumer survey. We are starting to shift our focus to a different era, and that we're going to start spending some time on. This doesn't mean every release from now until Episode 9 will be from this era. It just means that it provides structure for the content and some of the features we're going to be doing. And that era, whether the inspiration comes from prequels or animated series, is the Clone Wars. Starting off, we're going to be doing reworks to the trio Master Duelists from the Jedi Order: Anakin Skywalker, General Kenobi, and Ahsoka Tano. General Kenobi, for example, is already one of the most used characters in our game, and so we will most likely focus on changing related synergies with the two other rather than pure power, as we did with the recent changes to Bastila Shan Fallen. But the intent is for the three characters together to synergize and elevate the value of each other. We will have more to share with their kit reveals in the upcoming weeks. We're going to be playing around with this era for quite a while, so expect us to see more old and new characters from this era come front and center. Territory battles on Geonosis. Oh, man! Work in progress concept. There's actually a picture here of the territory battles on Geonosis. I told you, Geonosis is coming. Okay, and it's here. So, with our eyes...
another territory battle. Yes!
Well, this is actually cool right now because we're going to be getting guild event currency for Malak. So the sooner this comes out, the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, because that's what we definitely need a territory battle.
If it's cool, I mean, maybe, obviously, two new territory battles means possibly new characters in the guild event store besides Malak.
I know.
It also means possibly a chase character that they're going to add in there, kind of like Leia and Captain Han Solo. So, we'll see. I mean, it could be good. It
will also require another character that you're forced to get to 7 stars, then be like, oh, nah, just kidding. you don't need Captain Han anymore. Just play it with you. Just kidding.
maybe we finally get Geonosian Commander. Yes.
Oh, yes. He holds the staff in the right hand. Yeah.
He holds the staff in the right hand, and he does damage based on debuffs instead of buffs. Yeah. With our eyes on the Clone Wars, this definitely means, by the way, that the clones are getting reworked. So, for sure, this is happening. I would bet every nickel I've ever made on it. With our eyes on Clone Wars, we are thrilled to announce that around the time of the next big feature update, we will land inside the next 3 months. We'll be launching the first map of a brand new territory battles located on Geonosis. In anticipation of the launch of a brand new map, we recently streamlined the Hoth map platoons so players can more efficiently clear Hoth. The new Geonosis map will have new characters along with special events, and we are eager to share more details as we get closer to the release. Grand Arena Championships. In that update, we are also going to be releasing an extension of Grand Arena called the Grand Arena Championships. A championship is a multi-week series of Grand Arena events and competitive challenges where players can fight their way into more and more exclusive leagues for higher rewards and ultimate bragging rights. This update is intended to be the start of a new era of competitive play in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And over time, there will be more and more ways to demonstrate that you are among the very best SWGOH players in the world. We have solicited some players for feedback and initial designs of the Grand Arena Championship, and will begin a restricted beta in the upcoming weeks. Beta time! Beta time! Star Wars Celebration. Stop at our booth and talk with any of our team members in attendance about the upcoming new Clone Wars content, or watch the Star Wars show coverage on the event on April 11th. If you're attending, swing by early and drop off your ally code to get some swag. They're also, if anybody's in the area for Star Wars Celebration, definitely go check that out. You'll probably get 50 crystals.
I think half my guild is over there now.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see the trailer for Jedi Fallen Order and for Episode 9. That's really what I'm excited about Celebration. Episode 9 trailer's coming out, I think tomorrow or the next day, and then I think the Jedi Fallen Order trailer's coming out on the, I want to say the 14th, or maybe it came out. Maybe it's coming out tomorrow. I'm not sure. But there's going to be the trailer for the new Star Wars game coming out later this year, and for Episode 9 over the weekend. At least we think there's going to be a trailer for Episode 9. I mean, there's a panel there for Episode 9, so I think there has to be. So we'll see. There's been a lot of excitement and passion from the players throughout the entire development cycle, and we always endeavor to be worthy of your time and attention. We are so happy to continue to play in this sandbox and provide you new challenges. And as always, we'll see you on the holotables and at the celebration. Carrie Goose Goes. Thank you, Carrie.
Peace out.
Thank you, Carrie. But yes, I mean, so a lot of stuff to kind of dissect there. What are your thoughts about the rework to Anakin, General Kenobi, and Ahsoka Tano?
I'm excited.
About time. Do you think that's going to hurt? Do you think that's going to hurt Kenobi's viability?
I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be. I don't know if maybe he's going to be something a little bit more specific in certain factions rather than just kind of be a plug and play tune. It'd be interesting to see. I'm excited that they're going to rework Ahsoka and Anakin. That would be really, really nice because, they were good when they first came out for about 5 minutes, and then it'd be nice if they get back in there.
What do you think, Maurice? I mean, I'm just saying, I think they better be careful with reworking General Kenobi.
Yes.
Well, he's pretty good. We've been speculating on a rework for him for a long time. Just adding, he's got 2 abilities you can put a Zeta on. So seeing as you're going to have a Gear 12 Juani now, more than likely, you will have a Jedi tank for your Revan team if you do indeed have to split off Kenobi to go with Anakin. It's kind of funny, right? I mean, one of these Sith, I think it's the Jedi Knight, the first big Jedi quest requires you to have a Gear 12, Anakin. The Sith one requires you to have a Gear 12 Dooku, aka the Clone Wars era Dooku. It could be a Separatist rework coming to him as well.
Separatist is definitely Clone Wars stuff for sure.
So I mean, this is these little quests that they just threw in the game that nobody really cared about are slowly starting to kind of have some meaning, with the exception of Fulcrum. I still don't know what she's used for. But yeah, I mean, that's Anakin and Ahsoka, the first rework. If you guys, newer players, they've already been reworked. The little synergy they have with one another, the crit immunity that they start the battle with, that is not original. That was a rework. They've reworked Anakin before. So they're going back to the drawing board because he's still, even after the rework, Anakin was meta-ish for, a couple months. Just because he was one of the the few characters. When they did a gear level increase, he was one of the few characters that could go to the next gear level. It was weird how they did it. Like, I can't remember if it was gear 10 or gear 11, but half the characters could go up a higher gear level than the other half, and it kind of shifted certain characters into the meta. Once everybody caught up, they just evaporated from being useful, and Anakin was one of those characters. So this will be good. This will be interesting. I don't know. I mean, because you have Ahsoka. She's a pilot, so if you have her just for the ship, now you get some use out of her and character battles as well. So this could be really, really cool. And hopefully it starts trickling down to some of these other Jedi. The Jedi, they said they were not going to have any plans to rework anytime soon. The anytime soon apparently has passed, so it is no longer soon. We've moved on to Mace. Definitely there's no way we get out of this Clone Wars era that they're speaking of and not get something to Mace.
God, please fix Mace Windu. Please.
It's a complete overhaul he needs. Just scrap him. just try again.
Just give him a new character model too. Make him look more like Samuel L. Jackson. This guy looks ridiculous. Have you seen the character model for Mace Windu?
Yeah, it looks like Lamar Odom.
It looks like Lamar Odom. He looks like Malik Yoba. If any of you NYPD Blue fans from the 1990s, he looks like Malik Yoba. Anybody who watched Cool Runnings, you know who I'm talking about. All right.
Yep.
Jamaica has a bobsled team, so we're gonna go into the meta report here because we just got a shift. I didn't expect the road ahead to drop, so that was kind of sudden. We'll talk about it again in a little bit when we get back to the Q&A. This is our new meta. So looking at this from afar, it looks like Darth Revan is the meta. So Jedi Knight Revan has been trumped. He's been dethroned. And this pie looked completely different 2 weeks ago. But now, Darth Revan is on top. Jedi Knight Revan number 2. And Emperor Palpatine is all over the place in your face. Emperor Palpatine. He is like literally, there are almost as many Emperor Palpatines as there are Jedi Knight Revans. Do you see that? It's bananas. There's 2,300 Jedi Knight Revans at rank 1 in Arena today. There are 1,900 Emperor Palpatines in Arena at rank 1 today. That's crazy.
Wow.
And unless Darth Malak has some sort of element in his kit that prevents turn meter gain, and I really do think continue to be relevant. I mean, he is just too good versus Darth Revan team. I don't know if that was intentional on their part, but they just opened up. I mean, instantly. I mean, look at the last time we did the show. I mean, it was all Jedi Revan, and now it's almost, Jedi Revan and Palpatine are even. That's crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy. Well, Palpatine also is crazy. And Palpatine has literally expanded tremendously over the last 2 weeks. And who would think that we were back into like a Palpatine-esque meta ever again? I mean, I didn't think the Palpatine, with no rework or changes to his kit whatsoever, would ever see the light of day again with teams like Jedi Knight Revan out there. But there are counters. So Palpatine is a counter to Darth Revan. So that's kind of where that's at. But I think it's pretty interesting. I mean, there's a lot of shift in here in the meta. This is exciting. The meta report is different than it was. That's a 3-way pie chart right there. I mean, that's as close as it gets to a diverse meta than we've seen in the last 2 years. Basically in this game. So that's pretty good. I mean, at least a year and a half. It's always been somebody. Like, is it Darth Treya? Or, it was CLS, and Jedi Knight Revan. Now it's kind of, it's Rey Jedi training. Now it's kind of diverse. Now, this is going to shift a little bit again here, especially when Malak releases. I think that Revan side of the pie is going to skyrocket up the more people that get Malak. But it's interesting nonetheless. So we're going to move on to our top 10 squad members and see what this effect, what effect that has on the top 10 squad members at rank 1. And Bastila Fallen is now the number 1 squad member at rank 1 in Arena. with Jedi Knight Revan at number 2 and Sith Trooper at number 3, HK-47 at number 4, Grandmaster Yoda, Jedi Knight Revan, Jolie Bindo, and Bastila Shan fall into the 4, 5, 6, and 7 slots, and then 5, 6, 7, and 8 slots, and then 9 and 10 are rounded out with Darth Nihilus and General Kenobi. So what are your thoughts about this? I mean, did you expect to see Bastila Shan fallen as the number 1 character in Arena right now?
No. No, I remember when she first came out, she was just rather, as far as I was concerned, rather lackluster through most of it. And now that she's attached to Darth Revan, she has definitely shined.
When she came out as a marquee character, I thought that, like, it's going to be cool to have her, but I don't need to have her, right? Like, I mean, except for the event, and
right.
And I thought, like, when Darth Revan came out, whatever the event, like, he was just going to synergize with the Sith, and I was going to run this, like the way I envisioned this team 3 months ago was, like, Darth Traya lead, or Darth Revan lead with Traya in the background, Nihilus, Darth Sion, and then maybe, like, Palpatine or Vader or somebody else in there in the mix, But it's completely different than what, I had anticipated. But that's the meta report for this week, guys. We're going to move along to our top 5 now. And it's kind of relevant. Top 5 reasons to get Darth Malak. Okay, so for those of you that are on the cusp and kind of thinking about, do I make the investment, whether it's $50, $100 to get the gear for these characters, to get it done? I don't suggest going crazy here. And if you're really far behind and you're not going to be able to do it, don't sink yourself in. I mean, I think the event will come back, okay? It's not going to take forever. These events have been coming back sooner and sooner with every release. So, I mean, I'm sure it'll come back. But if you're somewhere on the fence and you're somewhere close there and you're thinking about it, these are some of the reasons why you should go for him and make that gear investment in some of those characters to get them to 17,500 power. So who do we have at number 5 here, Maurice?
We've got additional tank for your roster. It was in that picture that we were discussing and put in the chat earlier. He does taunt. The conditions of his taunt, I'm unsure of, but he will give you extra tank depth for all the various game modes. Help you split up, your tanks. So Sith Trooper isn't the really only Sith option to tank, for your Sith Empire team, because you now have an additional Sith Empire tank. So,
and tanks in general in the game are just a necessity. I mean, listen, we're it's not like we don't have any tanks. I mean, listen, there's Sunfax, Scarif Rebel Pathfinder, Old Ben, the list goes on. Bosk. There's a lot of tanks for each faction, but now that the Sith team has kind of been split up, with Traya, Palpatine teams, which are kind of like a Sith/hybrid Empire team, and now these Darth Revan teams, you're going to need another tank to make another squad for territory wars, right? And for arena, and for different other areas of the game. So having an additional tank is a huge advantage, and this is one of those bonuses for getting Darth Malak from this event. At number 4, we have a head start on farming the character. So for those of you that are able to get him on this go around and you want to start working on it, you'll be able to start farming the character from the Guild Event Store. It's going to take a long time to get him to 7 stars if you don't have the currency saved up and are willing to spend the crystals to refresh the store. So if you're somebody who, wants to get this character, you're close on it, and just like I do, it's going to take me a month or 2 to get him to 7 stars, maybe even longer than that. It's going to take several territory battles to even get the currency to do this. It's going to say, like Abby said earlier, around 50k Guild Event Store currency to get the character to 7 stars from 5 stars. If, in fact, the cost is what we think it's going to be, and it is 5 shards per purchase, it's going to take about probably 6 or 7 territory battles to get him there if you're starting from scratch.
Yes, but at the same time, if you guys can't get him this time, and the vast majority of the community will not be getting Darth Malak, that's just reality. And that's, this is going to be a pretty exclusive character the first go around. You do know he's coming back, and you do know that you need to start saving your Guild Event currency so you can get enough stored up for when you do get Revan that you can just take them all the way up. So that definitely do start hoarding your guild event currency for him. Once we know the cost, I'm not sure how many off the top of my head. I have no idea how many or guild event store currency will take to get him. But I mean, I'm sure that's relatively easy to figure out. So, yeah.
So that is our number 4 reason to get Darth Malak. What's our number 3 reason to get Darth Malak?
Well, as we're doing this live, I realized that 5 if I would have put this one fourth, it would have been a little better segue. Sith depth. He will give you extra Sith. Ramon mentioned, the Sith teams are being split up. He should have a Sith and a Sith Empire tag, so he'll work all over the place. But I mean, you're not going to get him without having a Sith Empire team. So likely he's going to go on the Sith Empire team. Will allow you to pull your Sith Trooper back off, and maybe throw him on your Darth Traya team again. Maybe you can split off Assassin for your Darth Maul team. Now, any of that little flex spot you guys are using, some people are using Thrawn. Maybe Malak can replace Thrawn. You can put Thrawn back, kind of take some of the ridiculous speed off him that you need for Arena and kind of make him flow with other teams. He will provide lots and lots of depth for a very quickly expanding Sith pool. I mean, it's probably 3rd or 4th now on the biggest factions. It's catching up. If it hasn't, let me look. It might have passed Empire. It's up there in terms of depth at the faction. Let me see here. So yeah,
that's definitely important. Again, like Maurice was saying, like I iterated a little bit earlier. Like I was saying,
they're not even close to Empire. They only have 15 Sith.
But there needs to be more Sith depth, because ultimately there are multiple Sith teams you can run now, and adding him to this team kind of makes this team complete. And you can start to allocate some of those players that you were putting into a Sith team into other factions, or well, not other factions, but other teams. So let's say you were taking your Sith Trooper, putting it on a Darth Revan team. You can now take that Sith Trooper, put it back on your Traya team, and make it so you have 2 complete teams instead of 1. And kind of stealing from another one. So that's part of the benefit there. Now, moving along to the number 2 reason to get Darth Malak. You have massive advantage in PvP. Okay, so the combination of Darth Revan and Malak is obviously much awaited. This is kind of what we were hoping for in the future. We didn't expect it to come this soon, but it's here. And now that you have both of these characters on the same team, I believe that the combination of these two, we took a little bit of a look at the kit, just a few bits and pieces that we were able to see from that post. It looks like the kit is going to be sick. I mean, it looks like it's going to be nuts. So I think that the combination of these two guys is going to put this team on another level and kind of make it so that anybody who is able to get Malak is going to be a step above in the arena. What do you think, Maurice?
Oh, for sure. Just like if you have both Revans and you're up against a Grand Arena opponent that only has one or neither Revan, you have a huge advantage. You now extend your advantage into Darth Revan plus Malak in Jedi Knight Revan over somebody that just has the 2 Revans. So it will give you an advantage. Be tough for team to beat, I'm assuming. This is all assuming that he is indeed, amazing. That's yet to be seen. So, the community was super hyped about Grievous, and the community was not super hyped about Grievous.
That's true. That's true.
So,
yeah, I am so glad I didn't buy into that one.
He could be totally balls. That's absolutely true.
Yes,
sure.
But that would be a pretty massive mistake. I mean, everyone's already up in arms about the way this event was released. If the character was inferior, especially those people, because if you got a roster full of Gear 10 characters, that's probably gonna be $100 to take them all to Gear 12 apiece, right? So that's a big investment for a character. So let's hope that's not the case. But yes, massive advantage for a lot of the reasons we just said. Just a head start, extra tank depth, extra Sith depth. Just we'll see how good he really is.
And what's our number 1 reason to get Darth Malak?
Our number 1 reason to get Darth Revan
Darth Malak.
Darth Malak is everyone can see you make it rain. So you've got money and you like to flaunt it. This is a good way to do so in the game by showing everyone that, hey, I support CG. I like Darth Malak. Let me get some.
If you want to look like the most ballinest baller in the arena today, get your Darth Malak this weekend. One time
Yes.
only. Yes. That's
So
that's what it's all about. Listen, for those of you out there that just want to be balling, just want to rock that, that big gold chain, one of those guys just want to flaunt it, show off your Malak. If you get some sort of an achievement for unlocking Malak and you get that Malak card that you can put as a character card, change your picture to Darth Malak. Be a baller. Show everybody you got. Even if you don't have him geared up enough to put him in arena, show everybody that picture. That's the
if
number
you really
one
want to
reason.
show, you really
And
Run
then
Jedi
you have
Revan.
to video. Yeah, then you have to video a happy dance doing it. So
You really want to
If you
run
really,
Jedi Revan, put no gear on Darth Malak, just show everybody that you got him and leave him with gear 1 because you just.
you have nothing left. Yeah, you have nothing left.
if you really want to be a ball, if you want to be really flavor about it, get your Darth Malak. But as always, we have an honorable mention, and this is actually something interesting, and we didn't discuss yet. The honorable mention is getting the possibility of him getting a capital ship. Okay, and this is something that we've talked about for a while now. Obviously they've introduced several Sith ships over the last few months. They've introduced the Palpatine's shuttle. We did get the Sith fighter. We already have Darth Maul's ship, and we have several other ships. What are your thoughts about us getting a capital ship with Malak as the captain? What do you think, Maurice? You think it's happening?
I think it's very, 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 very feasible. We have these Sith ships, the bomber, the fighter. You've got the Palpatine shuttle that was the Galactic Chase. You've got Maul, and you also have Vader. That's 5 ships, and then you have Malak now. So, just much like Thrawn, we got Thrawn first, and then the capital ship came later. And if it follows the same pattern, you needed Phoenix to unlock Thrawn, and I think you needed the Phoenix ships and the other Rebel ships to get the Thrawn ship, correct? Isn't that how it worked?
Yes.
It's been so long. So, that's very feasible for them to do that. And those are, on hard nodes that you can only hit 5 times now. So, that's very, very feasible. It's about time. We've got to get a new capital ship. Ships are getting very, very stale.
We need 2 capital ships, realistically. I mean, we need a Separatist capital ship, we need a Sith capital ship, and we need a First Order capital ship. And that I think that realistically, all those 3 things could happen within the next 7 or 8 months before Episode 9.
Abner Dune just put honorable mention. Can be put in platoons.
You could deploy Malak in platoons for Geonosis. Yes.
Well, now we don't have to worry about that. Now that they've locked the platoons, that no new characters will be added to the platoons.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
That's funny.
Thank goodness. I can just see it. Kind of like Phase 7 that they have now in the dark side, where you have to put in like a bazillion empires to make sure that you screw up your special mission and the Empire mission to overextend that. I can just see that happening with Darth Malak. Oh, we're going to ask for like 20 of them for territory battles. So
yeah, that's possible. But that's our top 5 for this week. Hope you liked it. Just wanted to try something a little bit different. Typically we do top 5 character type reveals or top 5 character type lists, but this is something that's a little bit more relevant for the time. So if you like that kind of thing, please do like the video, do subscribe, do give me some feedback on it. If you like these kinds of things, we can do more of them in the future, have some fun with it. So I'm going to move along now back to some gameplay, and while we do that, we will do our Q&A segment of the stream as we wrap it up here. Any questions that have been asked already or any questions that you'd like to have asked on the stream, you can type them into the chat now. This is typically that time where we do start to discuss any topics anybody wants to discuss or any questions anybody wants to have answered on the show. And we'll round out the end of the show with that as I do a little bit of gameplay and get ready for this event.
All right. A Zingy asks, let's see, Sith Trooper good in Arena under Darth Revan. Do you guys use Sith Trooper?
I don't.
He's okay. He'll take some of the hits, but he's not made for that team, basically.
Yeah, but he's good because he's a if you're up against a faster Darth Revan, he's good because he's a pre-taunter and will draw the fear. So only two of your characters get fear. That's really all he's good for. Like, he doesn't really do too much for your team.
Yeah,
maybe some offense down, but
yeah, I've got him pretty tanky, but and he's good for that as a taunter. But for the most part, wasn't actually built for that specific team. So that's where he's lacking in that aspect of it.
That's kind of where I feel about it. What I feel about it too. I feel like you can do it, and in certain circumstances, I guess, like certain metas, I guess it works. It also depends on the mods of your opponents. But I feel like at the same time, there are better places for Sith Trooper, and I feel like he really wasn't built well for this team, and that's kind of why we have Malak now, because I think that the devs knew that Sith Trooper really wasn't the best option for this team, and that's why people are, going to be getting this new tank that's coming out this weekend, because, it really was missing something. And I think that some of these other characters that people have been using to fill the hole, like, for example, Sith Assassin, Sith Marauder, even though some of them may still have a use, it'll definitely be a little bit less than it was, so.
All right, Star Kai is the next one. Can you only unlock at 5-star and have to farm him to 7-star? I know you probably will have to get the 6th and 7th star from the Guild Event store. I guess he's going to unlock at 5. I think it'd be rare or odd that you could. Who knows? I mean, maybe you can get him 3-star. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of odd for this situation, but yeah. So 5-star is probably the max you can get from the event.
Imagine you get him to 5 stars and he's not unlocked. Like, you still have to wait a month or two to farm him from the Guild Event store to unlock him at 7-star.
I'd have to reread the post, but that very well could be the case. So, yeah.
that would be atrocious.
Yeah. We'll know more of this event, I guess, when it launches. So, yeah. I imagine I'm going to be pretty tight-lipped the next 30 hours or so about this. So, thank Kyrell, with all the power creep, how crazy are the new versions of Rey and Kylo going to be?
Well, they're going to have to be crazy. I mean, I don't know what kind of Kylo we're going to get. It'll be cool because I think Kylo's artwork kind of shows a cracked mask Kylo for the new movie, so we'll probably get a new looking Kylo, and we'll probably get, we're going to get a Jedi version of Rey. I think that Rey may be able to not only be a good new addition as a leader for the Jedi, but the Jedi are going to be so good at that point, with the reworks to Kenobi, Ahsoka Tano, Anakin Skywalker. We may even be close to getting some other Jedi at that point. I mean, who knows? We may be getting, Return of the Jedi Luke at some point in the beginning of the year next year, or towards the middle of the year next year. And if that happens, the Jedi could be absolutely ridiculous again. If you're talking about having, Jedi Knight Revan, Rey Jedi, Jedi Rey, and then Jedi Luke all on the same team at the same time. That could be possibly OP. But I'm sure they'll find a way to make them all separate, like where they don't synergize with each other whatsoever. They'll be, they'll be like legendary Jedi and regular Jedi.
Okay, sorry. I was looking up some stuff. I'll skip that question for now while I look at it. Nathaniel Morgan, how many stars do you think Geonosis TB will be max, and what GP will you need to get it? 250 plus mil? I would absolutely anticipate 250 plus mil.
For sure. It's going to be something that not, if anything, like 2 guilds will be able to do it. Probably not even the first. I don't think anybody will be able to do it right away.
It's a shakeup. It's a guild shakeup. It's what it does. They let everybody get comfortable, and then they're going to shake it back up. They're going to make it probably unachievable, except for maybe 1 or 2 guilds, like Ramon mentioned, to do within the first couple attempts, right? So there's going to be, even if you have the GP required, there's going to be a learning curve the first couple, right? You're not going to go in there and just get the max stars on all the levels the very first time you play it. No one knows what the buffs are going to be on these characters. It takes a while, especially if it's all the previous 2 TVs. All the characters you fight look the same. You don't really know which one's which.
Yeah, that's
until
true.
you fight it.
Yeah.
I feel like the gap from dark side TB to this TB is much larger than it was from light side to dark side. So it's probably going to be a bigger jump than what it was the previous time. 250, it might be closer to 300. I'm not sure. 300 is a little high, but it's going to be very, very high to encourage people to leave their guilds and move to bigger guilds that are completing it at a higher rate. Come to find out months later that the prize and loot boxes are borderline irrelevant, and it doesn't really matter if you get that 45 star. It's you get the 45 star, you're like, yes, high five in the guild, everybody's happy. You get your loot box, it's the exact same thing you've been getting for the last 2 months. It's just oh, okay. We may have gotten 1 full piece, maybe, from the TVs. I'm not sure. I don't want to say we haven't, but no more than 1 have we gotten from all the TVs we've done. So we'll see.
Do you think we're getting a? Do you think we're ever going to get 6-dot mods as a whole right away? Do you think we'll ever get to the point where we don't have to level up a 6-dot mod? We'll just get a drop of a 6-dot mod or a 7-dot mod at some point.
I don't know. Maybe from a TB, maybe from a loot box. I don't think you'll be able to farm them. Maybe, who knows? But I do think that 6D and 6C is coming sooner than we'd like.
Level cap increase, bro.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, man, I haven't. Yeah, they have not done one of those in a long time.
They'll start. They're gonna put Zetas in the drop. So I don't think Zetas, but it'll be like the farms that you get for purple mats now, where you have a chance to get 1 Omega mat. It'll be 5 Omega mats to farm that. You'll get 3 Omega mats out of those events, and you'll have a chance to get a Zeta. I think that's what it'll be whenever we get a new event like that.
Yeah, they need to reevaluate a lot of this stuff because we have so many tunes and we have so many changes to the game since the beginning that it really needs to be updated a little bit in every aspect.
Yeah, agreed.
The next question is from Nathaniel Morgan. What percentage of players will get Malak, given that only a small percentage of even the hardcore players will get him? I guess maybe he's talking about Darth Revan. Well, what percentage of players will get Malak? I was the only person with Darth Revan these past 2 GAs. I don't know, man. That's pretty difficult to look up on the fly, but I can tell you that I just looked up Darth Revan's leadership Zeta. There's 22, according to this, 88.5% of all Darth Revan users have the leadership Zeta at 22,500. So that's going to put the total number of Darth Revans, right around 25,500-ish, I guess. Somewhere in that ballpark.
That's a lot.
So 25,000 people have Darth Revan. I'd be shocked if half got Malak. Maybe even a quarter. That's a tall order. I think some of your more TW focused guilds will probably do it because maybe some of those guilds are demanding the Karth Zalbar mission team. We have had some good time for Mission Zalbar, Jolie, and Bastila. That's very feasible for people to have those 4 characters, but maybe some of these newer ones, some of the veteran players had HK. Newer players they probably don't. They're catching up on HK still because there's been no reason really to have it. The Dark Side Bastila. There were people taking Juwani in to get Darth Revan like blue gear, just in Candace.
Yeah.
Candace Ordo is a very good character, but he's very in-game kind of luxury character. He's not really, to this point, he's not really required for any major raid comp or just basically he goes under a Darth Vader or Karth lead. He's really limited as to what he's good for. So we'll see.
There's probably more overall value in Juhani right now, I would say, even though she's not necessarily... Even though I think, personally, that Candace Ordo is a better character than her, Juhani is a Jedi, and she's a tank. So I think, there's value there in, possibly using her as a replacement for, let's say, Kenobi, if eventually there's another Jedi team that arises to the top of the ranks.
I think the fact that, she's a tank and she might not be the best tank, but it could be something that could save your butt in like TW or something down the road if you stick her on the team as something that can taunt or whatever. But other than that, yeah, because we do need more tanks in the game. We really do.
Yeah,
I think she sucks. I don't know.
I hear people say that she's really good. I hear people say that she sucks, but it's hard. It's really hard to say. Who knows? Maybe she's just not synergizing with the right team right now.
No, I agree with Maurice. She sucks. But what I'm saying
that could totally be user error. I just kind of got her up there and been fooling around with her. She just. I was really excited about her too when she was released, and just kind of underwhelming. Maybe it's because Kenobi is just so good in every situation. Kenobi's always going to be better.
Didn't you place her high in the top 5 tanks at one point?
Yeah, well, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, like I said, I was really excited about it.
Well, Maurice did not say that Ordo isn't good. What he's saying is that Ordo's more niche than she is, because Ordo only works in a couple of different... Ordo really only works in one team. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one or two teams. Whereas you could probably get more value out of a character like Juhani because she's a tank and she's a Jedi. So that's really all it is. I mean, you can't really throw Candace Ordo as a 5th on any team and make it work, where because Juhani is a tank, you kind of can throw her in a lot of different scenarios that you can't use Candace in. So I would say, in my opinion, Candace is definitely the better character of the two, but Juhani provides more value, if that makes any sense.
I love Ordo. I mean, I've got Gear 12 plus 4. I got a Gear 12 plus piece on Ordo. I got 60 mods that I handpicked just for him that are probably can never go on any other character. I really like Ordo. I don't know. If I was in a guild of 120 million GP total, and I was like an officer or leader, I definitely would not encourage people to
farm
Gear
Ordo.
12 Ordo. There's other things. Here they come. All right, this one just came in. Bastar Kai asked, will Malak event give gear like Django?
That'd be cool, but I don't think so. It's not going to be anything like the Django event. The Django event was basically the best way I could put it to you would be like a juiced up marquee event. The Django event was just kind of a little bit more special than a regular marquee because it was Django. Because everybody really anticipated Django would come in with much more fanfare. They thought that Django would come into the game as a legendary character, actually. They decided to release him as a marquee, but they decided to do it as like a super marquee. So they added some cool boards or some maps for him. They added some different things to make the event a little bit more special. They added some more rewards for you. But that was really just kind of to celebrate the character of Django more than anything else. I don't think we're going to see that from any other marquee unless it's a special character like Django. I mean, people have been anticipating Django. He's one of the more asked about characters on the forums and to the dev team since the game came out. I mean, people have been asking when Django's going to come and if Django's going to be a legendary character. A lot of us thought he was going to be, and they just kind of said, no, we're going to release him as a marquee, and we're going to make it just a little bit more of a special event because everybody loves Django.
It could be a case, even like maybe there's some tiers, and if you can complete, you might not get Malak, but maybe in the past, I think Revan's event, like if you can clear 3, 4, whatever it was, you got some Zetas and you get some gear pieces. I mean, maybe if it's tiered, you could get something probably. Even if you can't get Malak, you can probably get a little something. Maybe 50 crystals, kind of like those old legendary, like Palpatine and Yoda. They'd give you like 50 crystals or so if you completed a tier, like even like tier 3, tier 4 type stuff. We'll see. I mean, this is a new event, so I really wish I knew more about it. I know the exact same thing, probably less than the majority of you watching the stream now. So, let's see.
It'll be interesting, but it'll definitely be different. I don't think it's going to be just a carbon copy of anything else that we've seen before.
Hans Omar von Harold Duarte. When will they fix the loot bug? They show empty space. At the end, they show your loot from nodes.
Oh, yeah.
It does seem a little buggy, but it also, at the same time, it's centered. Like, the rewards are centered on your screen now, whereas I think they used to just start on the left side. Maybe I'm tripping, but yeah, because that was bothering me for a while, too. I'm not sure if it's a official bug or not. I sim stuff so quick I really don't even pay attention to what I get anymore. Just so much stuff to do in the game. I just sim. I probably should start watching, huh?
Yeah.
But all right, Drew Dog, what's up, man? Running Darth Revan, Emo, Basla, HK, Sith Trooper, and Thrawn to finish first on my shard. What are you guys running with Darth Revan?
Well, you can see what I'm running with Darth Revan right now.
I'm running the same team, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of guys have converted to that team on my shard as well.
I just made Nihilus really tanky, and he's just a punching bag, basically.
Yeah.
For JKR, and sometimes he'll last through the whole thing, and sometimes he goes down, but so long as he takes the punch and then I can get my my guys going, it's done.
I run the same team, just sub in Marauder over Thrawn. There are a couple guys that have just baller Darth Revan teams that I can't beat consistently, so I will go to Palpatine, Shore Trooper, and the Triumvirate to beat those teams, and then right back to Darth Revan. And now, I believe this is the last one. Okay. Let me make sure that I didn't miss any here towards the end.
What's the best mod for Basilisk Fallen?
Yeah. Well, we can go ahead and answer that one. And then the last one's speculation question. So, what is the best mod sets for Basilisk Fallen?
I would say the best mod sets for her are Potency and Offense. But you may just want to go with... You may just want to go with 2 potency sets, maybe even 3 potency sets. I don't know. What do you think?
You order fast, man. Like,
yeah.
If you have some really good potency sets, that is a good call. But we're talking. I guess it's all relative to where you are. But like in my arena, all 6 of the mods, or all 5, not counting the arrow, would have to have 16, 17 plus speed for me to use them. I like speed and potency set.
But you kind of want Scion to go first, right? Because he's able to then dispel all that stuff that the Jedi do. And maybe I'm kind of thinking more against Jedi Knight Revan teams than Darth Revan teams, but yeah.
Well, it depends on your team comp too. Like if you run, I'm not running Scion, so my Basla, I just want her fast, just to go.
Yeah, on the Scion team, you want to make sure. Well, because I've got like Revan going first, and then Scion clears out all the the buffs, and then Dark Bastila goes in and does her thing. And that's pretty much it. And then HK goes right after that, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah. I'm undetermined what is the better circle for her. Is it health? 16% health, a 6E health mod on her to kind of boost her health pool that is increased by 70%, and then she has that wicked health steal, or if it's the protection route because she does regenerate protection every turn. I'm kind of undecided on which is the best. So I mean, I don't. You guys, what do you like, protection or health on her?
I've got health on one and protection on another in 2 different counts, and I'm really not seeing much of a difference. I'm really not seeing any difference.
I always go protection on every character. I hate health. 5% health to me is almost irrelevant.
Oh, you gotta 6E it, man. You can't. Yeah, 5.88. If you don't have any 6E health mods, protection is clearly the better choice, I think. But
right, yeah. Yeah, I would, yeah. But, yeah, some of my best speed are on those health ones. Mm-hmm. So it's I'm kind of stuck doing that sometimes. But in comparison, I'm really not seeing a difference in terms of whether she goes down fast or not, or what with that.
Yeah, I mean, you could have health. You could have double the health and protection when HK swoops in and clocks you for 175k. It's irrelevant. So
Exactly.
Yeah. The only reason I would ever use health, in my particular opinion, would be if there was a faster speed secondary on that mod than I had on another one.
Yeah.
That would be the circumstance where I would pull that. Any more questions?
And then we had one more from Thane.
Okay.
The normal Gear 12 pieces are going to be farmable now, which they did announce they'll be farmable in the light dark side nodes. So do you think the new TB map will introduce the new gear pieces to go to Gear 13? Absolutely. That's very, very feasible.
Yeah.
Because that's how they introduced Gear 12, is it not? I mean,
it is, yeah.
Oh, it is, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you need that one piece to get to Gear 13, and I would really personally be shocked if that didn't come with a level cap increase. Your characters have to be 88 or 89 to equip that one piece, to kind of slow the progression down.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they've done in the past. They'll release a new gear level and a level cap. This is a long time ago. We've been at level 85 for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want to thank also DSP for the multiple donations today, and thank Kyrell for his donation earlier as well. I didn't mention them because we were in the middle of reading the Road Ahead blog, but thank you guys.
I did, Abner. I don't see it, man. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Hey, this is a good one, too. I'm sorry. I see it now. With the new Clone Wars focus mentioned in the Road Ahead, what new characters would you like to see released this year?
Well, I would like them to release. I would like them to release some more Clone Wars era Jedi. They have a few. The most of them are already in the game, actually, but there are a few that didn't make it. I'd also like to see possibly a couple more clones added to the game as well. There were some other clones that didn't make it. Maybe we could possibly get the younger version of what's his name's character from what was that guy's name from Rogue One? The guy who had the mask on that was he had trouble breathing. He's a Clone Wars character.
Oh yeah. Man, I don't remember the name at all.
Drew saying Commander Wolf. Shayla Gamoto saying Prong Krell.
Yeah, there's a few others too. There's a few other Jedi that were in there that were pretty cool. There were those 2 twin girls that had the crazy hair. They had hair that kind of stood up in midair. and that'd be cool. It'd be cool if they added some of the other. It'd be cool if they added like Satine and some other characters from the Clone Wars show. And I'm just spitballing here. I mean, so I'm saying there's got to be a reason. I'm sure they're going to add some of these people. I mean, they're adding Satine would mean maybe putting together some sort of like a Mandalorian type synergy. Saw Gerrera was the name of the character.
Oh yes, okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Vestar. But there were also these two Jedi girls that one of the clones bugged out and kind of shot the Jedi point blank in the side of the head when his clone his Order 66 his chip malfunctioned, and he ended up doing his order early in the show, and he killed one of the Jedi there, and that's when they first started to wonder about the clones, and that was on the show. And one of the girls that got shot, she had a twin. They were both Jedis, and they both looked exactly so. They had this special power to or they were synergized with each other. They were like two girls that. They were like two girls that had, I forgot her name, but they were two Jedi Masters that were leading these clones into battle, and one of the girls got like basically blasted point blank range by this clone, and then they obviously arrested the clone and took him in, and then that's when they first started to find out that they had these inhibitor chips. So.
Yeah, yeah, and that's about it. McFly's asking, has the level cap always been 85? I can't remember. Nathaniel said 60 was the original. Sounds good. I know there was a 65 in there at some point. I don't remember how it went up from there, but
okay. So that's pretty much it.
Lots of news to cover. Then we got a road ahead, right smack in the middle of the show. So
yeah. They could also add Kiadi Mundi. That would be cool. Pong Krell, like you said. There's quite a few that didn't make it in yet. So, we could see a few different things. They could add another version of Asajj Ventress, like the short-haired version of Asajj Ventress when she became, kind of a little bit more, when she wasn't working with Dooku anymore. And then they have Adi Gallia as a possibility. It's quite a few. And I'm sure they'll do reworks to Plo Koon, Eve Koth, Mace Windu, Luminara, characters like that too. So, we'll see. I'm a Gundy, maybe.
Yeah, GK3 just gave you a super chat here. Says Ramon knows his stuff. We did get one. I think I cut you off. Thanking people. I apologize. Carlos gave us $10 in his local currency. I don't know what it was, but sounds pretty upset. He said, he's a free-to-play player since the beginning, and the Malak thing was just too much for him. It sounds like the straw broke the camel's back, and then says he's going to be leaving the game. So if that is the case, I suggest sleep on it, Carlos. It might not be the end of the world, but do leave. Thank you, man. It's been fun. He frequents all the streams, supports all the content creators. So thank you for all you've done for our side of things for all this time. So
absolutely.
Yep. If you find another cool game, man, let us know. I'm getting a little tired of this other game I'm playing, so might be looking for a new one. But yeah.
Yep. But that's pretty much it. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here, guys. We're getting to that point where it's time to... the name of the Jedi is Tiplar. I believe it's Tiplar. Just to...
you know better than me, man. You got it. I know. I don't know any... you just... I don't know.
Yeah, it was Tiplar. So, Master Tiplee... After her they was Master Tiplee and Master Twin Sister Tiplar. Those are the two Jedi that one of them was killed during the show, and they were like they kind of had like a synergy together. Like they were able to read each other's minds. So it'd be kind of cool if they added those characters too. But anyway, that's it for the show, guys. I appreciate everybody sticking it out. I hope everybody gets their Malak, and if not, don't worry about it. He'll be back around, and it's okay. You know, it's not a big deal. I will, however, be doing the best that I can to get everything prepared for the event, and I will stream it when I go for the character, so you guys will get a chance to see that. And I'm looking forward to doing that, so that'll be a lot of fun. Again, thank you so much for the donations today. DSP, give me 1 second. I just got another one.
JVU just had one come in.
JVU.
Thank you so much for the donation. Thank you to Dane Kyrell, GK3, and everybody just for watching the stream and contributing your thoughts on the questions. Really, the best part of these streams is kind of interacting with you guys and getting your feedback on what we're talking about and being able to do these Q&As at the end, so we can kind of get an idea of where everybody's head's at and what other people's thoughts are. We know quite a bit because we've been playing the game for a long time, and it's kind of cool to share our thoughts and get your guys' feedback so we can all together kind of figure out some of the answers to these different things that we're speculating on and what's going to happen. So looking forward to seeing what's going on with the new character, and I'll be live with you guys as soon as the event drops, or at least the day the event drops. But may the force be with you guys, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.